the first and most important thing I want is this is nothing to do with kids. All right? That's the first thing. Because that, to me, is the most important thing in the world. And I do not wish to have my name sullied around something that bloody evil, to be honest. The second thing I want is to say, yes, there's a complete denial there. But there's nothing else I can tell you because, otherwise I might be stepping on the police's feet. I don't know. So I don't want to do that because it might affect their investigations. It's a DLT caught in Savile probe and all this. I'm going to make one thing extremely clear to you, and I'd be really obliged if you all make sure that this gets into your articles or gets onto the television and you don't leave this bit out. The Savile probes is nothing to do with the things that I've been talking to the police about. So let's get down to brass tacks here. The first thing is I've been talking to the police about sexual, I can't even remember what the word is now. In the old days it was called putting your arm around somebody and giving them a cuddle, but nowadays, God knows. But anyway, I was accused, quote, of squeezing the boobs of a couple of women. One, and the other was somebody from 67 or something, which is incredible. So the point I want to make here is that none of the things that I'm talking to the police about or have talked to them about is to do with children, all right? I want this completely clear. My name appeared in the paper this morning, No Names, No Pack Drill, alongside Gary Glitter and Jimmy Savile. So that's not on, all right? So I know we've all got a game to play here. We've got, you've got to sell newspapers and, good headlines make good sales. But for God's sake, let's have a decent headline this time.
Standard. What about the actual allegations that you have been accused of? Do you categorically deny those?
I have categorically denied them, yes. But again, this was allegations. The police obviously have got to come in. And I guess because there's so much interest in the media now, especially the BBC, my God, if it lasts out the week, it'll be lucky. But, it's a story. It's a big story. But, I'm saying that I do not wish to be sucked into anything that is, talking about paedophilia and that. And this is not just me protesting too much. Trust me, I've actually said, and if you look into the archives, you might have found that on my radio shows in the past, when there's been a paedophile case, I've said, well, hey, instead of, putting them in jail and doing this, send them around to my place and I'll sort them out. That's how strongly I feel about paedophiles. So that's the one thing I would really like you all to do, is to make that point. I think that sometimes, us guys who are a bit older, who are, shall we say, tactile, which is not a terrible thing to be. In the old days, you put your arm around somebody, you gave them a little kiss or a cuddle. Yeah, that's fine. But nowadays, you'd have to stop and think, is this an assault? Now, I'm not saying that I haven't put my arms around people or anything like that, and I'm not saying that any of this is right or wrong at the moment, but I'm just trying to get the facts out. That's why I'm talking to you guys.